Okay. Hey guys. I'm filming from my phone because I cannot currently find my camera, but that is a to be continued. So, I felt like it was only just if I reviewed the Mario palette like in like video form. Of course, I would still have like a blog up, but I felt like seeing it live in movement color gives it its own vibe, you know? So, oh my god, this is so loud. Hold on. I don't want to mute it though, because I like watching stuff while I'm talking. But I got the Master Mats palette as well as the Master Metals. But for my eyes, I only use the Master Mats, right? And I purchased it right after I saw his Sephora, like he was on Sephora and the Sephora on Lexington in New York, and he was just like kneeled down crying, and I was just like, how can I not support this man? You know, I'm like, I know we have millions of mats that look like this, a lot of neutral toned browns, like, oh, that's not it. Oops. A lot of like neutral tones, muted browns, rich browns, and of course a black. There's like a million of palettes like this. Like my Beauty Bay palette is pretty similar. Nudes. And then I would say my Natasha Denona palette is pretty similar as well. I'm gonna take that out. The Natasha Denona Neutrals palette. Oh, dude. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, my bad. This baby, like it's pretty similar to this. You know? Let me do like a side by side. But for this video, I don't want to do a comparison as far as it goes. This one's valued at $125, and this one's valued at $48. But side by side, pretty similar. You know what I mean? I would say the Mario Mattes palette is pretty. Like it reminded me of the Neutrals palette because of its texture and the way it was really pretty much like creamy when it like glided across the eye. On the Sephora site, they compared it to like, they kind of said it was like stiff and hard to get out of the pan. You know what I mean? So I thought it was gonna be like super dry, pretty basic, and like minimal on the eyelids, like a minimal pickup, which reminded me of his makeup aesthetic. Like if you look at Mario's makeup aesthetic, when it comes to Kim K, Gabrielle Union, Ariana Grande, like the major celebs that he doesn't do wild makeup. It's pretty soft to accentuate their features and make them look sexy without adding so much color, like if you pay attention to it. So I pretty much thought, okay, so his palette is going to reflect that type of aesthetic, and I felt like the pickup would pretty much do the same thing. Like it would pick up enough but just not be too dry on the eye, if I'm trying to make sense. But let me just like do a pickup swatch. Okay. Mind you, I already used it, so now I'm swatching it, so it's pretty much opened or whatever. See? And I would say that's pretty much how it glides onto the eye. Very similar to Denona. It's pretty soft, not as soft as hers is. It's like a nice balance. But the pickup is pretty easy. I used a few blending brushes. I would say the light mattes are pretty rich itself. The colors, these are deeper than what I had expected, but I feel like that tends to happen with neutrals. I guess because they blend so easy, they make it a hint more uh, darker because it can carry so much movement, just so it sits on the eyelid the way it's supposed to. But overall, I feel like it's a really good palette. It's a really cute palette. I think it's great for set life, like as a makeup artist or traveling, because this is pretty nice. But I can say when I got mine, there was a little bit of residue, like on the like screen protector or whatever. That's just me being extra petty. Hold on. Let me just show you. Well, now you're not gonna see. I kind of rubbed it off. But there was a bit residue of it, and I think that had to do with like the transfer because I ordered mine online. So I'm just like, maybe it's not super travel friendly. It may need like bubble wrap or whatever. So I would be kind of careful with taking that. But as far as the weight and size, I would love it for traveling. So it's pretty cute. I mean, the colors aren't really named anything elaborate. It legit is matte 1, 2, 3 to 12. Way to be creative. But then I feel like that's why it's kind of like, it feels more of like a pro palette because it's pretty straightforward. You know what I mean? It's not going to be wildly trendy. I am excited to play with the master metals. And the colors are pretty much silver, gold, copper, bronze, and rose gold. You know, we're so used to hearing girly chic and it's like a red or bubbly and it's sparkly. You know what I mean? So he pretty much named it straight up honest. As far as the weight of it, it's really cute. Like it has like a nice weight to it. This is like a 3D by Mario, so it's like you could touch it. It's kind of cute. It did come in packaging that reminded me of NARS. It was pretty stiff. And I love the NARS packaging. Like when you buy a NARS product, you're just like, ooh, this box is so nice. Like, but then the palettes itself are pretty lightweight. But I think because it's all black, it looks better. But it's still kind of cheapy feeling. You know what I mean? Like I like when a palette has a little bit of a weight to it. And this one, I would say it'd be smart because it carries the weight, but it's light. So it's like when you're picking it up to do your face, you can just hold it, you know? And I say the ones that are the most similar to it are like the quad pads, the quad ones, or like your ultra minis, like these. And in reality, like, who's gonna hold this up and do their face? I mean, you could, but he kind of did it and made the palette a little larger. It is valued at $48, which makes it a hint. Now it's kind of pricey, you know what I mean? Especially for neutral mattes, and nothing is wowed as far as like colors go, you know? Like the product itself, it's a good eyeshadow. It's a really good eyeshadow. And neutrals are always safe. Like who doesn't love a neutral palette? That will gravitate to anybody. You know what I mean? Like you always need your neutrals. Whether you're a traveling artist or just like a normal woman, like you can go night to day in a neutral palette and make it easy. And matte palettes are always beginner friendly because they blend so easily onto the eye. So it works all across the board. So I see why he started off with it. Um, Overall thoughts. I like it. I like it. I really like it. There was no like hot mess disasters. Like usually with like a first launch of someone, you have a disaster effect. Like you need a recall or like people hated how it came out. And this one, I really don't think Mario is gonna need a recall. But he is a pro artist, so I know Mario is not playing with his eyeshadow. It's his eyeshadow blendability and the warmth of it and how it transfers and how it sits on the eyes. I didn't get the primers because I have P. Louise bases, so who needs anything else? So I can't really rave about that, but I wasn't too impressed about it. Other things he had in his collection, I did include it on my blog post. It was featured in my latest trends, like the upcoming makeup trends, and he did have like a what was it? It was like a clear highlight. And when I read it online, they said it was really sticky. They said you could do the same effect with Vaseline, but I think it's sticky because it wouldn't transfer so easily. So I wouldn't say 100%. Like, that's something I had my eye on because I'm like, ooh, I want to play with that. And I want to do a highlight and then gloss it over to see how it looks because I'm sure it'll give like a wet look and it'll sit on the face like all night long. So that made me pretty excited, but I didn't get it yet because I was like, I can wait for this. You know what I mean? We can talk about that next time. Um, yeah, overall thoughts. The palette's really cute. The set is really cute. It is 48, and normally when we pay 48, like we're getting something that's a little larger in pan size or larger in overall appearance. You know what I mean? This is what was subculture. Well, ABH palettes are like 45, and this is 48. You know what I mean? But then the box itself is pretty much recyclable. Subculture. And then this one itself is pretty plastic. I don't know for sure if it is recyclable. That I didn't look up. And then, ooh, when you snap it closed, it's like metallic. Not metallic, magnetic. So he did invest in something pretty good. So wait, I did go back and say 48, maybe a hint too pricey. But then you're thinking about the weight, the fact that it's magnetic, the mirror, and then the richness of the eyeshadows itself. Like, it's very similar to the Natasha Denona, and I know her stuff is wildly excellent. So it's like, it makes sense why it's 48. And I'm just like, you don't die with money, so just buy the stuff you want. But those were my thoughts on my initial thoughts on this eyeshadow look. And I did use all Makeup by Mario. And underneath, I did add the P. Louise. I can probably do something live. I was thinking of doing it live, but I really wanted to just feel out the palette and just see how I liked it initially before I would just like show how it works. You know what I mean? I wanted to give it its fair shot. And it blended so easily with the others. It picked up so easily with the others. Like, I can go on and on, but I did add generous coats to make it, to deepen it and to add the drama effect that I like. But when you initially pick up, it's not harsh, it's not sheer, it's pretty opaque. So I would say to cop this palette, whether it's your first time or your 20th time with eyeshadows. I mean, you're free to say if you hate all neutrals, but it is an all neutral, all matte palette. I don't know if there's too many like that because there's usually a shimmer or a glitter or a sparkle to it. You know what I mean? This is just all mattes, pretty cute, and travel friendly with bubble wrap. But I would say travel friendly as a makeup artist. Like, you can pack this with you and then add a sparkle or shimmer to your hand if you want to, you know? So that's all I have to say about the Mario Master Mattes palette. Those are my thoughts. And yeah, let me know how you feel. If you copped it, if you didn't, if you hate it. I kind of want to know. All right. And I would just say a tip. I like to read the Sephora reviews because I like to know what everyone else is thinking about it, especially if they hate it. But don't go based on that. You still kind of need it on your own to test it out to see if you love it. Okay? So that's all I have to say for now, guys. I am watching a show, so that is what you're hearing in the background if you do hear it. So that's all I have to say for now, guys. I would say stay tuned. Not stay tuned. Thank you for watching the video if you caught up on it. And once again, if you're using this, please hit me up. I want to know your thoughts about it. That's bye for now, y'all. Bye.